Hi, Chelsea.
Hi.
We're coming off quite the weekend for you. You and
What are you talking about?
You and Chriselle maybe lit some fires all over the internet.
I just believe in the truth, and I believe in protecting those that I love. As you know, I've never been shy of sharing my thoughts on just about anything, so.
So you just let it rip?
Just let it rip.
Did you hear from anybody after you did all that?
No, it's usually crickets.
Okay. People are scared of you then?
I wouldn't say scared, I just think that sometimes when the truth comes to light, there's nothing that you can really do about it, you know?
Chriselle has said she really has no interest in going back to the show if Nicole remains on it. Do you feel the same way?
No, I would never. I mean, this is my job. So this is my bread and butter, and this is how I feed my children. So I'm not going to be moved by anybody, that's for sure.
She's been involved with people she shouldn't have been, so.
Married people?
She confronted her.
Like in person?
Mm-hmm.
And said what?
I think we have a friend in common.
Nicole says Emma was actually once confronted with this information, and that cameras may actually have been there because she said it was at the O Group office opening that ended last season. Do you think that happened?
I could never trust a word that comes out of Nicole's mouth.
Okay. Let's talk about you. It's a heavy season for you.
I think this needs to come off.
How are you feeling about the world getting a window into what has to be one of the tougher chapters of your life?
Good question, and thank you for asking. I'm nervous a little bit because I've never been so vulnerable in my whole entire life, but I think that with anything, it shows that everyone goes through highs and lows, and I hope that my strength and how I persevere and what my next stage looks like serves as motivation for anyone going through something they don't think they can get through.
I've never been here. I've never even been in a situation whereby I've had any type of disconnect. I literally haven't looked at my spouse's phone in like 10 years.
How has this changed you as a person? You are usually lit up, bubbly as hell. You're a little reserved right now. So
I am.
It seems like there's a physical change to you even in this.
I think I'm just, look, I haven't lost my light. I'm still Chelsea, and I haven't lost my smile. But as you can imagine, there's so many eyeballs on me right now, and I really just want to do right by my children and by myself and look back and say I handled myself with the most grace that I could have.
How would you describe right now? It's about 5 months, I think, since this all kind of exploded out into the world. How are you doing in this moment?
I'm doing so good. I never thought I would get to where I am right now because there were so many sad and dark days and so many tears, so much angst and frustration, and I could sit here today and say, yes, you see a more evolved person and maybe someone that's a little bit more demure.
Very demure, very cutesy.
Is it demure or demure?
Demure, but if you want to go with demure, we can go with that too.
But I think with everything in life, I'm not a tree, I'm gonna grow, I'm gonna evolve. Also now in my 30s, so it calls for a little bit more of a different demeanor, but you know, we can still, if we need to.
Yeah, we saw it over the weekend. It's still in there. How are your kids handling adjusting to the new normal?
My kids are amazing. They're so well loved, and they're kids, and I want them to always just be kids.
What is your relationship, if any, with your estranged husband right now?
I think that my ex-husband, didn't decide to be in the public limelight, and I think that as two people that love our children so much, it's best that I just respect his privacy because he didn't choose my job. So I'm going to move forward in doing that.
So bear with me if some of these questions
Yeah, of course.
poke in there, but I want to make sure we ask. You say on the show that he didn't exactly like your job. Did that mean realtor, reality star, or both?
I think that echoing what I just said, he didn't decide to be in this role that I've chosen and that I love, so I want to respect his decision to be private as best as I can.
Obviously, what's in the court papers is not private. Anybody can gain access to them.
Absolutely.
And the picture that is painted in those papers is different than the one that was presented to us on the show about what your home life maybe looks like.
No.
Were you putting up a front, or did it all come crashing down at the end here?
Whatever's in the court papers, you know, I haven't really read much of the court papers. You know, anything can be out there.
Oftentimes when people walk away from a marriage, they can view it as a failure or a success. Do you see it one way or the other for you?
I do. My marriage will always be a success in my book. It was so beautiful for the time that it lasted. I have the most amazing kids in the whole of the universe, and I wouldn't have picked another person to be the father of my kids in this whole world. I just wouldn't have. And that just speaks to maybe where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Which is great, or maybe the blessings that are my children, and maybe the strength and the beauty and the intelligence I see in them, because that's a combination of two people. And I would never, ever rewrite the last 10 years of my life, even if you paid me $10 billion.
You're in each other's lives for life.
Yeah.
So might as well make the most of whatever this new relationship is for the two of you.
Absolutely.
Obviously, we get the picture of kind of why things started to unfold between the two of you. You are brought some information about what he allegedly did.
He saw your husband at the W Hotel in Hollywood with some girl. She pulled up receipts.
What did the messages say?
It said that he saw them making out in the lobby and that he's seen him
Making out in the lobby.
Do you believe your husband was unfaithful to you?
I mean, I think you're brought a picture by other people. As far as the picture that I have, that is not something I will ever speak to.
Okay. That explains to me, you struggle with confronting this information and essentially bringing it to him, and we never see him at all on the show this season. Did you ultimately have a conversation with him about the information Bre brought you?
Oh, babe. Ah! That is something I will never speak to.
Okay. I think to go back to the divorce papers, you cite irreconcilable differences and not adultery.
Absolutely.
And so that carries some weight to me. Okay, let's get into Bre bringing you this information.
Yeah.
When you sat down at the bar with her and she lets it all out, is that the first time you had ever heard any inkling of something like this?
So it's a bit tricky because the way we film, you have to understand that I was aware of what was being set up in that scene, and I chose in that moment not to run, but to confront it head on, just because we were such in maybe the beginning to middle of filming that I felt as though, as hard as any allegation is, true or untrue, I could run or I could face it head on and just have this conversation. I chose to have that conversation.
You seemed in that bar moment receptive to the information she was giving you, taking it in, almost like, thank you so much for bringing this to me. In the events that follow, though, you seem to not necessarily trust the information, or at least not her intentions with that information. Where do you stand now?
I couldn't trust her as far as I could throw her, to be honest with you. I don't think anyone could trust her as far as they can throw her. I think I would have a line down Sunset Boulevard of people that can't trust her. But that's neither here nor there. I don't think that any woman should ever be in the middle of or blamed for any marriage not working out for any reason, quite honestly. So I'm always receptive to information, true, false, or indifferent. I welcome it, but Bre has nothing to do with the deterioration of my marriage, and the information she brought has nothing to do with the deterioration of my marriage.
When you say you can't trust her, what is it about her that you can't trust? She presents it as, if I wanted to ruin Chelsea's life, this is not the way I would go about it at all.
Right. Honestly, I still don't know. I have no idea. I just know that Amanda Lynn allegedly called Bre, and I say allegedly because everything's hearsay, and said, I can't stand this BITCH, referring to me.
Do you know her at all?
Never in my life have I met her. I want to take her down. Let's take her down together, put me on Selling Sunset. I'm gonna run it and ruin her life.
Okay, so you have heard that this was a setup to
So-
get her on the show and to come after you.
Yeah, Bre actually told me it was a setup.
Oh.
Making out with her?
Yeah. I said, shut up, 2 days ago. I swear on my mom. On my mom.
I thought we were beginning to repair our relationship. I had obviously apologized many times, and I thought that was the start of something to come. And then everything kind of got thrown at me left side, and I was really more so just focusing on my mental health, focusing on my children, and focusing on still doing my job, because I still had to come to work to film and do real estate virtually every day. So I really wasn't thinking about Amanda, because I had never met her before, I'd never seen her, but the only thing I heard of her other than that conversation with Bre was that she wanted to ruin me, and I was just like, I've never met her before.
Have you met her at this point? Have you had any interaction with her? Okay.
No, none.
Bre makes a comment in defense of meeting up with Amanda Lynn.
Yeah.
Essentially, Chrishell and Emma knew I was doing this. Do you believe they knew she was doing that, or the extent of what the conversation was going to be?
I mean, I know Chrishell and Emma have been by my side through some of my hardest moments over the last 6 months. They would never, ever in their lives do anything to put me at any type of risk mentally or physically, or they just care about me a lot, and I care about them a lot, and they care about me when the cameras are off. So I don't really care about the hearsay. They know this, they didn't know that. I just know how my friends feel about me.
So you can still trust them.
100%.
Bre sums up at the end of the season, she feels that you're playing the victim.
Okay.
Do you feel like you were playing the victim?
I mean, look, I hate generally, like, the whole playing the victim is such a hard term, because I really like to be the strength in all situations. And I look at my glass as half full versus half empty. I wish I was playing the victim. It would have been a lot easier.
Do you stand by standing your ground and wanting both Chrishell and Emma to make a choice, essentially, between Bre and you?
I'd never asked any of my friends, not once, to make a choice between Bre and myself. I don't really believe people should do that. So the whole narrative that I had to get them to pick a side is BS. It's just not true.
Do you stand by that even now with
No.
everything you said about Bre? That you don't want them to pick a side if they want to explore a
If
relationship
they want
with
to
her?
explore a relationship with her, they should go right ahead, and I'm gonna be there to pick them up when they fall down
Okay, so that
from
doesn't-
her abuse.
It doesn't make you look at them sideways. It makes you be like, well, I'll be waiting here for when it...
Yeah, because everyone has to have their own experiences, and ultimately, if I firmly, in my conviction, believe someone's a certain type of way, it's only a matter of time until it catches up to my lovely friends. So if they want to maintain that friendship, that's good for them.
We leave the season on kind of an odd note. We never get the full kind of... It's like we're building to this confrontation. Bre's going to bring the information that Nicole has about Emma to Emma. We never get that. It feels like we end on a question mark a little bit. Is there like a secret season 9 already filmed, a part B already filmed?
I wish. Because I'm left on a question mark too.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Okay, so no. What do you want to claim in this next chapter of life? We end the season with you standing in this beautiful house in Studio City, kind of looking around going, I think I can make the most out of this next chapter. So what are you claiming for yourself?
Look, never in a million years did I think that I would be a single mum, but I am. Never in a million years did I think that I would be divorced, and I'm almost. It's not the end of the road. Life is so beautiful. There's so much to do, see, your life never ends, you know, and you may go through a hard time, but pick yourself back up and go out there and still go after your dreams and still maintain your smiles. I don't know where the world or the universe is going to take me, but I'm 31 and my journey's not over yet, so.
Are you moving from the beach to the valley? Did you buy that house?
I'm still in Manhattan Beach.
Okay, I feel like you're there for life.
I'm not leaving Manhattan Beach ever. Yeah, I love it there.
Do you still believe in love? Do you want love in this next phase of life?
I will always believe in love, always, forever. I'm a lover girl, I'll always believe in love. I will absolutely find love again, I know that for a fact. I am not looking for love. I never have, I never will. It's gonna find me, and it's gonna be another beautiful story, you know?
Do you have a wish list of what you want in your next partner?
Do I have a wish list? Yeah, it's more like a laundry basket.
Slop.
Yeah. It's impossible.
What's the number one thing?
Make me laugh. You gotta be funny. You gotta be really, really like hilarious. I love to laugh.
Well, you and Emma can hit the town as single ladies now. That's a different form of life for the two of you. Where do you stand with Mary after everything that unfolded this season, especially knowing she and Amanda sort of back up Nicole's claim about Emma?
I wouldn't say they back up. You stand for nothing, you fall for everything, right? If you do not speak up when somebody's going through something, you're an accomplice. I've always said that, I've always believed it. From season 1, and my stance has never changed. So I do not choose to hold relationships with people that have no integrity or have no moral compass, because my moral compass is right there in the center. It's always on the side. It's always on the right side of history, you know? I always do what's right by myself, by people in general. It's just who I am. So as far as Mary's concerned, I think she's lovely. I think she's a fantastic agent. I enjoy having her as a co-worker. I do not consider her a friend because I don't think she has any integrity, and I don't think she has a moral compass. And I feel like she'll be there and watch she'll watch her friend fall flat on her face, as she's done many seasons with Nicole, and not step in and say anything. I can't have someone like that in my corner. I need someone that's always ready to go in the fire for me, and that's just who I am.